bae, I got something to say. Let's get started. What's up, guys? And welcome to another video. I'm your girl, Tia Michelle. And today, you're probably like, wow, she's somewhere new. Well, yeah, welcome to my bedroom. You know, part of me would love for this video to be like, oh, I'm just giving you a tour of my space. But it's a little different. It's a little more raw than that. So if you click this link, of course you know what this video is about. This video is about 5 things. Yeah, 5 things that I wish I knew when I was younger. I called it 5 things I wish I could go back and tell my mini me, or mini me, little me. And now you're probably wondering, like, how did she even think to make this video? Well, in short, my aunt sent me a picture a couple nights ago, and she was like, hey, FYI, you are such a cute kid. Come look at this. And that's the picture that's actually the thumbnail for this video. I'm gonna pop it right there. Like, guys, oh my gosh, look at little Tia. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, it was mind-blowing for me, because it was like, I've come so far. Obviously, you know, now I'm 25, I'm no longer 3 or 2 or whatever, but bigger than that, there's just been so many life experiences. And so it kind of sent me, I don't want to say down a spiral, because that sounds really, really negative, but it sent me down this path of self-reflection. And I usually do that around my birthday, but with this, it kind of said, hey, you know, you've gone through some very interesting things. There has been a pandemic going on. Like, what have you learned? What have you learned about yourself? And, you know, I'm not here to, you know, say, oh, this pandemic was a great thing for me, because honestly, I don't think it's the time or the pace for that. But I will say that in this time, I've learned a lot about myself, and I'm going to share some of that with you guys today. So without further ado, here are 5 things that I wish I could tell little Tia, mini Tia. All right, let's jump in. The first thing, the way I've done this is I've kind of split it up into different categories, right? So the first category I'm going to talk about today is spiritually. Like, what is something that I wish I could have told myself relating to like my religion or like my spirituality as a younger person. I wish I would have told myself that your journey is literally your journey. Like, the walk that you have with Christ is really your own specific walk. There have been so many times that I have just gotten down on myself because I'm like, oh, you know, this person, they do this, or they're vegetarian, or they, you know, they're so in tune with God. They spend hours in prayer with him. You know, they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and they worship till 5, or they worship till 9 or whatever. And, you know, I just, you know, did you just thank you for this day, amen? Like, I would always measure myself against someone else, and then sometimes I would see people that I thought were like super duper religious or super duper at like a really close walk, and I'd be like, wow, you know, I am horrible. Like, I suck at the God thing. But what I've learned, I think the most in this past year especially, it's just that, like, everyone's walk is their own walk. Like, just because you see one thing, like, just because I'm sitting here, you know, with my necklace and maybe, you know, I'm showing a little cleave. The girls are sitting today, we praise God, but but just because all of that, you know, you might feel like you're doing what you should be doing, as, you know, a Christian or whatever, you know, with your neckline up here, I feel like I can still do that with it down here. So I've learned to exercise some grace, not only in the way that I see other people, but grace is so important in the way that we see ourselves. I mean, I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect, but in reality, for what? Like, literally, especially now, I'm talking to all my Christian people right now. Yes, Jesus was perfect. He was the perfect man, and we want to live like him, but we have to come to the realization that we're human. We're 100% human, so we're not going to be perfect. I think the big thing is that we should always strive to be the most like Christ that we can. And for those of you who don't believe, or you may say, you know, I'm not trying to be like Jesus. Well, just try and be a good person. Like, I feel like if there's one thing that I've learned is that, you know, I don't always do everything perfectly. There are some situations I walk away from and I'm like, wow, I could have been kinder, or I could have said something different or whatever. But in reality, the fact that I'm having those thoughts is progress. That means that I'm doing something right. So that's what I would tell myself. I would tell myself that everyone's walk is not the same spiritually, and I need to have some grace and extend that grace to myself. All right, next thing, I'm trying to remember my list. My list is on the floor, y'all, don't judge me. Okay, so the next thing is romantically. I've actually got 2 bullets for this. Surprise, surprise. What I would have told myself, and honestly, you know, this is about mini me. I honestly would have told myself this even last year, even a couple months ago. So the big thing is that just because you're unattached does not mean you're unloved. I'm gonna say it again. Just because you're unattached does not mean you're unloved. I think sometimes as women especially, oh my gosh, we're brainwashed into this feeling that, oh my gosh, if there's no man attached to me, if I'm not in a relationship, heck, even if there's nobody in my DMs, what's wrong with me? Am I not pretty? Am I not smart? Am I not attractive? Am I not sexy? When in reality, there's nothing wrong with you. Your validation does not come from how many boyfriends you have or have had, or girlfriends or whatever. Like, that is not what you should be measuring yourself against. And I struggled with this. Again, full disclosure, total transparency. You know, I was about to say I struggled with this in high school a lot, but honestly, it's something that I've even had to, you know, learn well into adulthood, that, you know, I don't have to have a man or be in a relationship or be talking to someone to justify the fact that I'm worthy of love. You know, I can rest in the love that I have with my family, with my friends, and it's not pathetic. I think sometimes we sit and we're like, oh my gosh, you know, she's just all about her family, and she's all about, you know, the love she's got from her church people, or the love that she's got from her friends. That's so pathetic, you know. Stop it. Stop. It's not. Like, it's okay to love yourself. And I think sometimes we say love yourself first. No, it's okay to love yourself, and just that's it. Like, I'm not loving myself in preparation to love someone else. I'm not loving myself so that I can. No, I'm loving myself because I am worthy and I deserve love. So I definitely think that's something that I've learned that I would want to share with my former self. As you know, I am growing and evolving every day. That's something that I have to work on daily. Like, you are good, girl. Like, you're loved, even if you're not being currently loved by somebody because, you know, you're single or whatever. Like, it's good. Like, you're in a good place. You're enough. You, even if it's just you for the rest of your life, you're good. Like, you don't need anything else. My dad always tells me, you can do bad all by yourself. And, you know, we take that and we're like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't want to do bad. But in reality, you can do great all by yourself too. You can make great things and affect positive change and just be the person that God has you to be, has you on this planet to be. So yeah, I would definitely share that with myself. The next thing, or the next part, I'm gonna switch. I want to do both the relationship ones. As far as I don't know how I'm gonna say this. As far as personal growth, I would tell myself, you are enough. And I know it's kind of a part two to the last thing I said, but I would just remind myself that I'm enough. I think sometimes we live our lives and we're always trying to get to the next level, or we're trying to do the next thing. And don't get me wrong, I think having goals is great. You should have goals, set goals, reach goals, set more goals. Like, goal setting is amazing, and it's definitely something that you should do, right? But I also think it's important to give yourself the space to say, you know, if I don't accomplish a single thing more in my life, if I don't gain another ounce of notoriety, I'm still enough. I'm still worthy. I'm still, like, that doesn't negate, like, my talents and my accomplishment do not negate my self-worth, or do not constitute my self-worth, honestly. This is something that I've had to come to grips with, you know, in my own, like, career. Some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. You know, I started off wanting, you know, I went to college, and for the first 2 years of school, I majored in biology, and I wanted to be a doctor. If you knew me in high school, you are probably expecting me to come on here and say, hey, I'm halfway to being a cardiothoracic surgeon. But, you know, I got to college and I realized that that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And that's okay. It was a hard decision for me to make. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was probably one of the hardest things I had to do, because it's something that I really leaned into, and I told people, and everyone knew Tia was gonna be a doctor, Tia was gonna do this, Tia was gonna do that. And telling my parents was also hard. But, you know, once I got to the place where I realized, hey, whether you're a doctor or not, you are still worthy of love. You're worthy. You're enough. Like, you don't have to feel like you're forever overcompensating, because then it was like, okay, well, if I'm not gonna be a doctor, then I gotta get all the high grades, and I gotta get all the highest marks, and I gotta do this and get into this grad school and do that and third and all of that. And I finally just had to take a step back and realize, you know, I want to do what God has me here to do. And if he does not see fit for me to even go to grad school, I'm still enough. Like, that's okay. I'm walking in my purpose in that space. So I think I would tell myself that, because I went through a lot of time, especially after I graduated. I had this bachelor's in psychology. I knew I didn't really want to practice psychology as far as being a psychologist, even though that's a great career. It just wasn't, again, it wasn't for me. So I went through this place of just feeling inadequate. Like, wow, here you are with this degree. You need to get a graduate degree. You need to do this, and oh, your relationships and this, that, and the third. But I just had to take a step back and realize, hey, I'm enough, and I need to quit looking to all these extra things to validate me. So to that person who honestly just doesn't really know what's going on for them, to me, because honestly, I could say this to myself months ago, I could say this to myself years ago, but I can also say this to myself right now. You're enough. Like, where you are, you're living in the space you're supposed to be living in. You're doing the things you're supposed to do. You're enough. Like, you don't have to validate yourself with all these other things, all these accolades. Reach your goals because you want to do that, because you feel like that's what you're called to do. Don't do it to please other people or to make other people feel good about what you're doing. No, you're enough. The fourth thing that I would say to my prior self is, girl, you cute. But seriously, I think it's easy to compare yourself to traditional beauty standards and to say, you know, oh, I would be so much cuter if I did this, if I added this, if I took away that, if I laid on this table, if I got up from that table. It's so easy to put all these stipulations down. Why? Why are we doing that to ourselves? Why? You are beautiful. We are beautiful. I spent so much time in high school gluing stuff into my head because I didn't feel like the hair that grew out of my scalp was beautiful. I put so much stuff on my face, and even though now I love makeup, you know, I do it as a hobby, I can sit up here and do this video with y'all in bare face and a bonnet and still feel beautiful, because that's just where I've come in my journey. You know, there was a time that I always felt like I needed to cover up, like I needed to have long sleeves on, or, you know, really loose pants or something that no one really knew exactly what I looked like or what my shape was like. But now, baby girl, what? Y'all gonna catch these arms today, okay? Now, real talk though, like I'm at a place in my life where, you know, I'm really starting to discover my beauty and why Tia is beautiful. Not just because of the way I look or the way I behave or just, you know, the things I put on my body, but because of who I am, my innermost parts, the parts y'all can't see just by looking at a picture of me or a cute snap or whatever. I'm really learning how to cultivate that and to let that beauty show. And I'm excited. I'm glad that that's something that I can really lean into now, but it wasn't always like that. So I would go back and tell, especially teenage me, who was trying to look like her friends with the long hair and everything else, girl, you are beautiful. Don't even let anyone tell you different. Don't let no boy hurt you to make you feel like if you looked like this girl or that girl, he would have stayed in your life. Girl, what? You are who you need to be, and that is beautiful, okay? All right. And the final thing that I would leave to myself, I told y'all I would come back to the relationship piece. I would tell myself not to settle for anything that's less than what you really want. I think so many times in my own life, and again, I'm speaking from my personal lens, my personal experience. There have been so many times in my life that I have just accepted stuff, especially in relationships, that I didn't need to accept, but I would do it just to say I had somebody. And it kind of goes back to, again, it's the part two to the fact that you don't need to be attached to somebody to be worth it. Like, just because you're unloved or unattached, or put it this way, just because you're unattached doesn't mean you're unloved. This is like part two to that. Like, I don't need to put up with foolery to just say I have someone. You know, I've dated around a little bit in my teenage life, not so much, but mainly even in my younger adult life, whether it's college or even just after school. I've been in a couple relationships, and there have been times that I've taken things and behaviors that weren't necessarily, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, you know, all these bad things happen, because, you know, relationships crumble for various reasons. But there have been times that I've been involved in things that I knew in my heart should have never happened. I knew in my heart that this person was not valuing me or was not loving me appropriately, but I accepted it just to say that I was with somebody. Why do we do that? Oh my God. Can we stop? Please, 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 let's stop that behavior. We are worth so much more. And I'm saying that to both sides of the relationship, whether it's male, female, whoever you are. Be with people that love you, that respect you, that honor, that are helping you reach your goals, that are giving you the things that you need to receive, that are serving, that like be in relationships that serve you and that are healthy. Don't just stay with someone because you're afraid of being alone. You're never alone. There are several, and I know that's like super cliche, and you're probably like, yeah, girl, you never alone, whatever. But like, honestly, get yourself a good group of friends, get yourself a good support group. Please don't, like, please don't. Oh, my mind is just being flooded with all the memories of times when I was with somebody and I still felt alone. Honestly, I feel like the worst feeling is when you're surrounded by people or you have a ton of people in your life and you'll still feel alone. Don't be with people that make you feel alone. Be with people that make you feel loved and cherished. And even outside of a relationship, don't stay in friendships that make you feel less than, that make you feel like you're settling, you know, for people that don't even like you. I think we've all had friends that are low-key hating on us, or that are low-key, you know, they just want you to be miserable with them all the time. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. Don't be that person. Love yourself. Love yourself enough that you don't settle, because you don't deserve to settle. You deserve to have everything out of life that you want, period. I think that people say, oh, that's selfish. No, that's not selfish at all. What that is real. You deserve. I always tell people, my friends will laugh at me because like when I want to buy something that I know I don't have no business buying, I'll write there, I'll be like, I deserve, or you deserve. You want to go get food, even though you got food in your fridge, go. You deserve. You deserve it, boo. Go do it. So with that being said, pick your relationships wisely. Don't settle for having crap people in your life. You deserve to be loved, to be cherished, to be valued. And so, you know, that's it. That's my short 5-thing list that I would say to myself. But today I'm saying that to each one of you guys, okay? Like, don't settle. Love yourself. Just because you may not be in a relationship right now, or even if you are and you're holed up in a house by yourself because of corona or whatever else, don't let that get you down. You know, you are still worthy. You are enough. You are loved. You are cherished. And if nobody's told you today, I love you. Like, you matter. You are an awesome person. You deserve the very best that life has to offer. And, you know, I know a lot of what you've seen on this channel so far has been, you know, about beautifying the outside, you know, whether it's the lashes or the eye makeup or the lip gloss or whatever. You know, today I want you to work. Today I wanted this to be a self-care thing. I wanted us to look inside and just remind ourselves of some things that we might have forgotten. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on in the world right now, but you still matter. You still worth it. You still worthy. Real talk. That's real talk. That's what we gonna call this. Real talk. Hashtag real talk. So, I mean, do what you gotta do. If you need to find you some affirmations that remind you of these things, if you need to sit back and reflect on what you wish somebody told you or what you wish you could tell your past self, go ahead and do that. But make sure you continue to take those lessons. Like, I'm taking the lessons that I just told y'all about, and I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna remind myself of these things daily, that I'm loved, that I am fabulous, that I'm cute, okay? I'm gonna remind myself of these things. I'm gonna let it change the way that I operate. I'm gonna let it change the way that I walk. I'm gonna walk with my head a little higher today. I'm gonna walk with a bigger smile on my face today. I'm just gonna take care of me today. So today, I want to implore you to take care of you, because you're worth it. You deserve. And so, as we wrap up this video, I told you I wasn't gonna be before you long, sound like I'm preaching. But if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoy this channel, please like, subscribe, all those wonderful things. And I will see you next week when we talk about something else. I'll see you next time when we do another real talk. Let me know if you enjoyed this. You know, if you got some ideas of what you want to see me get on here and talk about for a few minutes. Nevertheless, remember, you deserve. I love you guys for watching. Thanks. Bye.